Okay, finally doing this video after 2 weeks. It's about damn time. I've been procrastinating, I've been so busy with work, I just haven't had the time to actually sit down and do this, but I'm finally doing it. We got a bronze soldier player on PC. I offered to take a look at his gameplay. But yeah, so this is gonna be my first video that I'm gonna be actually coaching someone. So let's see how this comes out. Might be a little bit unorganized, but I'm gonna try my best to actually make this as best as I can to watch. But yeah, so basically how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna talk a little bit about what your team is doing, but I'm gonna talk more about what you can do to try to quote unquote carry this game. Because if you want to climb, you gotta understand that every single player here is gonna make a ton of mistakes, and that's fair to say for any elo. There's a lot of mistakes made, but as you get higher, they're made less. Players become more consistent. So if you focus on your play, you will climb, I promise you. So whatever I tell you here, pick and choose. Watch this video multiple times, but pick and choose what you want to improve on. Implement it into your game, and hopefully you see improvement over time. But you gotta make sure you focus on only certain things. Don't try to cram in all these things I'm gonna talk about, because there's just no point in that. You want to try to pick two things and become as best as you can with it. Okay, so straight away, turrets have to choke. Doesn't matter, your Reinhardt went in. Okay, let me pause that. Okay, so first things first. They had a Mei wall. They popped it, and your team went in. Good. One of the things that I see a lot is a Mei wall separating the team, and then that just happens over and over, and then the team never properly gets a good fight going. So you guys, I'm pretty sure, did that on accident. But keep that in mind. When there's a Mei wall, you want to wait for it, and then you go in. Try to bait it out. But you guys went in at the perfect time, so that's good. But what I was going to say, for you at least, those turrets at the choke, you ignored the main ones that were important. You were trying to shoot at the ones that weren't going to zap your team at all. That's a minor little detail, but whatever. Another thing, you popped your biotic field when you didn't need to. You were at, let me show you here, very important. You were at 200 HP when you popped that. I rewatched this video multiple times, so I know what's gonna happen, but you need to know this because it's important. And there's gonna be times where, because you popped that biotic field so early for no reason, you're gonna need it later. The only time you want to be popping that is to heal yourself or to heal your team. In this case, your Reinhardt needed healing, but you guys were up in the fight, so honestly, popping that biotic field does really nothing, but it's all about building good habits. So you want to try to use it as conservatively as possible, because your healers weren't in any danger, so they're going to heal that anyways. And honestly, it's better for your healers to get the ult charge rather than yourself, because like, your charging nano is very powerful. Like, you can charge your aimbot really fast if you're taking high ground, which is going to be another thing I'm going to be talking about throughout this video, because you don't take that once throughout this gameplay, unfortunately, but it's okay. We're here to learn. So yeah, so your team comp, you got a Reinhardt, Diva, Soldier, Moira, and an Ana. Alright, so I had to restart everything, and record from my phone because OBS was acting stupid, and I stopped the audio and stuff, but I'm gonna start from here again. Just repeat what I was saying. But I believe I was talking about the team comp. So unfortunately, Reinhardt is really bad after this first point you capture, just because of the high ground. And like I said, I've already watched this video like 5 times, so Soldier and Torbjorn are constantly going to be on the high ground the whole game, and your team never contests them, so unfortunately that's why you guys lose every single fight from here on out. And also just random flankers, people who shouldn't even be flanking, like Torbjorn, and not being punished. So just a simple tip, every time you see a flanker or hear a flanker, you need to turn around and put your attention to them. Like right now, I could hear the audio cues. Wow. So yeah, right there you could see the Symmetra in the background zapping your backline, and you do nothing about it, unfortunately. You need to turn around as soon as you hear something like that, and you need to call it out to your team. But anyways, here we go. As you can see, Reinhardt keeps dying, no one gets shield, your team keeps getting wrecked over and over by a Torbjorn turret that has aimbot. The shield is doing nothing right now, unfortunately, and you guys aren't coordinating enough to actually push this correctly. The way you need to approach this is you tell your Reinhardt, because of the high ground, you need to tell them, alright guys, as a team we need to go through the castle, come up here, and then go up there, as I was showing right there. Up there, right? So your team kills them, then you drop down, or your tanks do, because they gotta contest the cart. And you could probably hear a train right now. But anyways, your tanks drop down and you hold that high ground, because as you can see, he was destroying your team because he was holding the high ground. Well, you do the same. If you have a Mercy, you tell your Mercy to try to pocket you as much as you can, and then she can just move back and forth, because that helps her be more mobile, and then you get more pocketing and she can stay alive more longer. So that's a plus. And as you can see, Anna has her ultimate, and I don't see you typing in the chat like, alright Anna, I'm gonna try to get the high ground, and then you nano me and we go in. You need to try to be more communicative, whether it's in the chat because you're on PC, you could type on there, or talking on the mic. You need to try to coordinate these things together. And unfortunately, your team dies, you pop the attack visor to counter the Genji ult. If you did do that on purpose, props to you. Honestly, I don't think you did. But if you did, good job. The only thing I would suggest is you don't pop it blindly, because you kind of just heard the Q and then you popped it. You didn't know where Genji was positioned. He could have been a lot closer to your Reaper, and he would have just wiped the rest of your team. And your positioning here is actually terrible. You're trying to touch the car, you're trying to play objective, which is fine. But in this given moment, you have your 2 tanks up, and they should be the ones touching the cart. You should be positioned a little bit more far back, where, I don't know if you saw in that replay. Actually, I gotta back it up a little more. Alright, you could see your Moira and your Reaper in the back. You should be around there, because if you were there, you would have taken damage from the turret, you would have paid attention to that, and then your diva should be turning around with you guys and then destroying that, ankling the Torbjorn before you guys move forward. There's no point in in trying to play objective if there's stuff in the back killing you guys. Over and over. Your team needs to pay attention to that. You guys need to call that out. You guys need to kill that before you move forward. There's absolutely no reason to try to push the cart if there's stuff behind you destroying you guys over and over. The Reinhardt barrier is doing absolutely nothing, getting no value whatsoever. And he's talking about gold medals and how he has them, and I guess he probably thinks he's carrying. And unfortunately, he's not doing anything. And D.Va finally focuses down the turret. A little bit too late, honestly. This should be done. Wow. Where the hell did D.Va go? I'm so confused. D.Va was just there a second ago. Okay, anyways, that's probably not your fault. Your D.Va should tank most of that damage. But yeah, you need to be talking with your team. You need to be typing in the chat like what ults are up. You guys, you need to up the comms. The comms alone will carry you to at least gold. Apart from mechanical skill and all that stuff, and game sense, it's important, and you're missing a lot of shots here. Yeah, that's another thing I've noticed. Your sensitivity is a little bit too fast. You need to try to drop that and get used to a slower sensitivity, because you're missing a lot of shots that you shouldn't be missing whatsoever. But yeah, again, trying to play the barrier and you're getting screwed by a flanking Torbjorn, unfortunately. It's been the story of this whole game, just the enemy team being in really bad spots and it's just not being punished. Your team has not caught up with their game plan whatsoever, and unfortunately you haven't either, so you can't even call that out to your team. And actually I don't even know that because you haven't said a word, so even if you did, you're not saying anything about it. So if you did, you need to call that out. But yeah, it feels bad, man. You lose that round pretty badly with errors that should have been fixed, in my opinion. Very easy ones too. Like if you hold high ground there, you can deal way more damage. So I want to explain something about high ground. I think I mentioned that if you do hold high ground, you can have a Mercy up there with you. You can even have D.Va as well sometimes, or Winston, and then he just drops down when your team gets pressured, stuff like that. But you can use yourself as bait. If you're sitting up here, whether it's alone or with your Mercy, and they're running a dive comp, they're typically going to jump up here and try to contest you. If they do that, you disengage, and then you pop your biotic field, and your Mercy's pocketing you, so you should be able to hold, but you'll be able to gauge that yourself, depending on how much damage you take. If you're taking a lot of damage, you drop down with your Reinhardt, and then you get heals down there. But honestly, giving up the high ground is probably one of the last things you should do. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was the cart was about here. What you want to do is, from attack, obviously, you come up here, and then once you do that, you move along this bridge. I'm trying to delete everything. Okay, so you move along this bridge, and then you set up in this area, or here, whichever. The reason is you can shoot down at what's there, right? And they're forced to pay attention to you. You're creating a lot of space if you're doing that. And then once the cart comes more over here, you hold that high ground, and now you have a line of sight of this whole bridge, including the doorway that's way over there, right? Obviously, from their spawn. You can charge your attack visor a lot faster, like this. And this is really important because if the enemy team has like double barrier, or in this case like they had a Reinhardt and their team is actually using the barrier, you're gonna find it very difficult to deal damage, especially if your team isn't running a shield break comp like with a Junkrat or a Bastion, things like that, to break it fast. Soldier's effectiveness is very minimal if the shield isn't being broken, so you gotta find creative ways to try to deal damage while still staying alive. Because if you're dealing damage from above, you're charging your ultimate really fast, which means you can have more opportunity to carry the game with your tac visors and just off your positioning, just like the other soldier, the enemy soldier, was doing to your team. But that didn't happen, unfortunately, but hopefully that's a concept you could grasp and implement into your game. You can easily carry these games like that. Okay. So, I really hope you don't hold this position up here. It's really bad. If the enemy team has a Roadhog, you'll get instantly punished and shredded. In higher elo at least. In this elo they'll probably miss the hook, but that's not the point. You gotta try to build good habits, not bad habits. You don't want to be frontlining a soldier, you want to be with your healer in the back behind this Orisa shield, who is positioned very
They have a sniper.
And yeah, this is really bad. You should not be trying to 1v1ing a a Reaper from that range. You're gonna get destroyed.
Armor down.
Sure, you're getting these kills, but that does not make it right whatsoever.
They got a Bastion in the room.
Yes, they do.
You're trying to poke at the Bastion when there's a barrier to your left. They could be losing.
Need healing.
The instant feeds.
I'm coming, I'm dead.
Well, there's no reason to be this deep. You can go walled up. Oh, May punishes your Hans's bad positioning as well.
Ooh,
And
nice trap.
Where's out?
Okay. Yeah,
I need help with mate. Come on.
As soon as you see two people go down,
You can't just all be on left side.
you need to disengage completely. At this point, they're already making the push, which means the enemy team's already behind you. And that's another thing. You guys pay no attention to that whatsoever. I think Reaper flanked a long time ago, whether it was from above, through here, went through here, or just came through here and then went right. The point is, no one called it out. You need to pay attention to these things. You need to call that out. It's very easy. There's no reason to not be calling it out. The minute you notice that, if they do walk right, you need to walk back to the control point and then shoot from there. Cover that area, that whole area, that lane right from there. And then you need to call it out to your team if you need the help, or if he manages to slip through. And hopefully they capitalize on that, but you need to regroup here. You need to disengage. Yeah, you shouldn't be here. The two people that died earlier are already coming back right now, as you can see right there. But because you died there and you didn't regroup, now you have a chance to retest this. Like, this is the last fight.
No.
Like, there's no point for your team to be going in.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm on
3v6 at that point, or 3v5. Yeah, I need to pause this.
No rest for the weary.
Their Genji still doing work.
When you're coming back, and I really think this is an important concept that you can grasp eventually if you don't understand it right now. The reason you disengage as soon as you lose two, and by disengage I mean like go through those hallways right there and regroup where they can't see you whatsoever. And
yeah, I'm on
damage. You want to regroup because even though Orisa died last and she's slow,
Sorry, guys.
there was enough time for you guys to regroup. That's like I told you, your team's back.
Yeah, I'm on
What you do is you make your way through the castle,
No rest for the weary.
make your way through the castle through here, and then you take the high ground above the point. You build your ult charge from there while your team is contesting, because there would have been enough numbers, you would have had more troops, obviously. And then you get your tac visor and you hopefully carry the game with that. You could have won this game, right there. That was the play. But you didn't do it, unfortunately. But that's okay. Like I said earlier, we're here to learn, so it's fine. We all make mistakes. Yeah, you're trying to frontline again. You shouldn't be here. You should be on the high
Their
ground here,
Genji
like
still
I
doing
said
work.
multiple times. The same thing that the enemy soldier was doing to you, the Torment turret.
Junker would be better for
you could be doing to
the
them.
Genji.
Your Winston dives in. You guys don't have a dive comp, so he's probably gonna die. And he's the only tank that could actually, the mobile tank that can tank the damage. Okay. So, quick thing. If your Winston was there, he would have tanked most of the damage. You guys
And Junkrat could deal with both.
anyways, because you guys didn't expect it, but
Mission ain't over yet.
yeah. That's so bad, yeah.
And with that Bastion.
Fucking.
This is really frustrating to watch. Like, you guys are just trickling in from the point where you guys lost
They're fucking
the
good.
point. You guys should have disengaged completely. You guys couldn't recontest that, and now you lost the game because nobody regrouped. You guys just went in.
Somebody
And
needs to get onto it.
The Genji ult, even though the doors had just opened, and usually you don't. wanna
For the
ult
fourth
that way.
time, Junkrat would have been great.
The cards
Yeah,
can
I had
move
gold
anyways
elims
when you
and
ult that
damage
way,
for
but
that longest time, and I was playing tank first
so there's
round.
no point to invest in ultimate. But because of how close
DPS
the cart
first round
was,
weren't,
that ult
like,
was actually
couldn't do
huge
anything,
and very
so-
important.
Well, I tried, but their
And obviously,
their Genji
at
was
this elo,
their
that
Genji was
up,
spawn
so
camping me. I couldn't do
You guys
anything.
had stayed with the Reinhardt and
gets
would have been
even
able to
more
use the
value,
shield
even though
to like stay
the
away.
higher elo, that would be a bad ultimate usage. But
That's you just
you guys end
stay
up
with
losing this
me.
game, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But-
the Genji was flanking
so
us
there's
every
thing-
time.
If there's a
deaths.
shield in front of you, that means you don't have to look in front, and you could all pay
really
attention
bad.
to
them
behind
were-
to take out the
could've
two
been
people that
prevented,
were
obviously.
flanking. Is what I'm saying.
But
All you had to do.
Oh,
yeah,
wow, it's
so
over.
I touched on a lot of things in this video, but I think the most important thing is that you always come back to this video and you rewatch it multiple times, because there's a lot of things you're not going to grasp at the moment. You're going to watch this first, you're going to remember only a couple things, which is fine, but the point is you want to work on those two things that you grasp and master them. And as soon as you master that, you come back and then you rewatch this video, and then whatever you missed, you grasp that concept, and then you try to implement that into your game. This is going to be like a job. If you really do want to get better at the game, this is going to be like a job. Unfortunately, it's not something that you can just watch this video once and then it's going to be okay. You're going to have to do this multiple times, and eventually you should grasp it, as long as you keep reminding yourself about these things and you keep watching videos on these things and trying to grasp these easy concepts, because they are easy if you practice. If you don't practice, you're never going to understand it. But yeah, so sorry if you could hear a train in the background, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I helped you in some way. If I missed something, if I missed a certain part of the video that you wanted me to analyze but I just didn't touch on whatsoever, make sure you comment under this video, and then I'll be sure to write back to you, because I know there's some things that I probably missed that you were probably wondering, like, wow, what did I do wrong here? He didn't say anything. So don't be shy, just go ahead, let me know. And if if you have more gameplays that you're gonna record or you already have, post it, let me know. I'll be sure to get to the video and analyze it, because like I said, I like helping, so it's really fun to me, and it just helps me become better as well as a shot caller and things like that. Like, it's good practice for me, in my opinion. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, and maybe you would like your gameplay to be analyzed, just upload it to your channel. Comment under this video or any other future analysis videos I do. comment the title, and then I'll be sure to get back to you and try to get the video up for you as soon as possible when I have time. And as for this person that sent me this gameplay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this is my first time doing this, so I hope it came out decent. And if you're interested in me analyzing other gameplays for you, just hit me up. Like I said, upload it, and then I'll be sure to do it as soon as possible. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it.